What is up, guys? Last video we built the Hightower LT. This time we're gonna go ahead and take it out for a ride. Headed over to Chewacla State Park, where 99.9765% of my videos all take place, to go and put this Oh yeah. I will continue. We are taking the Hightower LT out for a first impressions ride video of sorts. I've done that for quite a few different bikes, but this will be the first time I've ever done it for a bike that's actually mine. So we are gonna first get this Chewacla app paired up. I'm not gonna talk too much about the Chewacla on this particular ride, but may end up focusing on it a little bit later on if we're gonna get started. Probably check out the slalom first. I'm not sure what exactly is gonna be rideable and what isn't. If you're on that East Coast, you probably know about Hurricane Michael coming through. That was earlier this week. I always take that one back. Suspension platform on this guy compared to the Enduro is definitely a little more inclined to being playful in my opinion. It just doesn't push as deep in the travel as quickly. Definitely eating pretty good. I'm gonna take a second to log an early complaint. Won't focus too much on it, but probably heard this if you've looked up much about the LT, and they're right. C-tube angle is slack. You really feel it on stuff like this. Steeper climbs, trying to remain seated, be kind of tough. We're head over to Pipe Dream. It was the race course for the Flyers downhill race. Might stop at a few blind jumps and drops just to assess damage and make sure there's no down trees on landings. I learned that the hard way yesterday. It's out of the forbidden zone, doing jumps, being stupid. Fortunately, I didn't have my camera on me, but came down the backside of a jump. There's a felled tree just directly across the landing almost as soon as I landed, and that was that. OTB, Superman. Oh, it's rough off the top. It's just sharp rock. Feels nice. Hit myself in the face with a tree. Park can get a little hairy because it's loose and narrow. Weird jump. Oh. Section's a little rough. Nice. Onto the Norba climb now. And like I was saying earlier, this is kind of where you feel that seat tube angle rear its head. Overall, the bike pedals well up climbs, but the position I'm seated in right now feels a little stretched, a little far back over the rear wheel. And yeah, I imagine I got a little more room in the saddle to push it forward in the rails, but especially when you start getting these bigger sizes like an XL that I'm on, I think it becomes a bit more of a problem. We're gonna go right on back down Norba. It's one of the more natural feeling single tracks we got. Pretty short, but good nonetheless. Especially to get some route testing on this guy. Good jump there. Oh, brush the tree. Some fun little features though. Hit that one a little far. This thing, kind of fun. Straight up rock bump jump. Gotten pretty rutted out through there. Really excited for this coming Saturday. You heard it here first. This Saturday and Sunday, I will be at the Windrock Bike Park in Oak Ridge, Tennessee / near Knoxville. So if you want to come out, no, it's late notice, but join. We'll have a decent little crew there, just having fun all weekend. But really excited to take this thing out there and put it through its paces, because if you're not aware of Windrock or know much about it, which keeping up with mountain bike YouTubers, you've probably seen it pop up a lot recently. Some of the most gnarly trails around. Short double, long double. Yeah. Nice little rock rolls. 1, 2. Rock up. Yep. Over the butt crack. So far so good. I just gotta get more fit because I've not ridden consistently for 2.5 months, and that's all my fault. And I've already had a couple of little decent crashes on this guy because I'm out here trying to go full speed again immediately because I know where I've been. So mentally I feel like I'm there, but physically not yet. give it a week or two. I think we'll be back. All right, let's give her a go. I'm gonna stay on the easier stuff. Not feeling all that smooth on jumps right now. That one's fun. Yeah, I love that one too. And now it's getting a little rough. I guess I need to get out here with some dirt. They've seen better days. Oh no. Alright. Give pipe dream one more run. This time we know it's coming as far as no obstructions. That's better. Get up. Took that turn better this time. Drop. Like that. Oh, that was close. Took that real bad. In the face. Oh, I feel good about that. Glad we did it. Whew. You hear that? There's actually a creek pipe waterfall right over there. What sucks? That's a good tree. I like that tree. You ever just really like a tree? Look at that tree. What's up, guys? We're here back at the house just to take a few minutes to go ahead and wrap everything up and talk a little bit more about the bike. Probably would have done this at the trails, but being as ill prepared as I was, all three of my cameras died. So the Hero 6 died, the Hero 7 died, and this guy, the Sony, went ahead and died while I was out there today. Nonetheless, had fun, and we're just going to kind of wrap things up a little bit. I want to touch on first the couple of complaints I had, mainly talking about the seat tube angle, which if you look at this guy, hold it up here, it's probably a little low for the shot. You can see the seat tube angle is pretty slack on it, and part of that just comes from the fact that they basically just have the Hightower front triangle and then put a modified rear triangle to give it the extra
15 millimeters of travel and make it the Hightower LT. So that resulted in the seat tube being pretty slack as well. But kind of going more in depth than that, I knew that coming in. I was well aware of the seat tube angle. I test ridden it a few times and I read all the reviews. And it's just not something that bothers me enough for me to have not considered this bike with everything else I really like about it. So the seat tube angle is not ideal. I'll probably play around with the saddle and the rails a little bit more, see if we can get a more comfortable position there. But for the most part, it feels really solid on climbs. It's just when it gets real steep, you can definitely notice that it's a little slack over there. Other than that though, as far as like the things I'm really liking so far, I really like the suspension platform. It's pretty stiff and it's really composed, so through kind of rougher chatter stuff, it stays really tight and kind of glides through. It may not be as soft or as plush as the Enduro was, but the Enduro is definitely a lot more frantic through the rough, you could say. Got a lot more out of line. Where this kind of just trucks a straight line. Everything stays real composed, and you can just keep on rolling with confidence. So I'm enjoying that quite a bit. I'm also enjoying the pedal platform as far as the bike picks up speed pretty well and pedals pretty comfortably. The pedal bob isn't bad at all on it, and everything, like I was saying, kind of just goes with how the suspension reacts in general, stays real nice and tight. Enough of that stuff though. I will do plenty of that in a couple months here when I have enough time to give you a full review of the bike, and I will talk really in depth on everything I like about it, everything I don't like about it, what I'm feeling with the suspension platform, all that. But one thing I want to touch on, because I've had a few comments on the bike build video as far as just wondering why specifically I ended up picking the Hightower LT instead of some other bikes. And so real briefly, basically I sold the Enduro because it kind of got to a point where a couple things were going on. One of them is I just got kind of tired of pedaling it around. The bike weighed around 34 pounds even with a full carbon frame, and there's just quite a bit of pedal bob in that suspension system. So just on flatter trails, which Chewacla has a decent bit of, it just didn't feel that great. Which is something I knew going in as well, but after a while it just kind of started to wear on me, so it wasn't the most pedal friendly bike. Number two, the suspension platform, I was just kind of like I said earlier with what I like about this one, I was never able to get it to feel very composed through repeated hits. It was always really soft and it always soaked up bumps real good, but through like really rough sections I just didn't feel like it tracked very well. It always felt a little nervous. And then lastly, size-wise, it was a size large and it was just always a bit too small. Could never get the stack quite where I wanted it, and the reach always felt a little tucked in. So kind of those two things led me to sell the Enduro and start looking at other things. The first new bike I started looking at was the Hightower, but as I looked at it further, I kind of caught myself being like, all right, I'll put a 160 mil Fox 36 on there, we'll get a Flodex 2 out back. And basically the further I got into kind of visualizing what I was going to set that bike up with, the more I realized it just made more sense for me to get the LT, to get the 150 millimeter travel version if I was going to put this long travel shock on there, put the X2 on there anyways, and do all these things that we're basically trying to make that bike be what this bike is. Now this one doesn't pedal as well as the Hightower. I've ridden both and I'd love to do a comparison on the two if that's something you guys would be interested in. And another thing with the Hightower is the seat tube angle is actually going to be a little bit steeper because it doesn't have the modified rear triangle. So in terms of pedal friendliness there, it's going to be a bit better. But kind of my avenue for that is, yes, I wanted a bike that pedaled better than the Enduro. I wanted a bike that tracked better than the Enduro, and I wanted a bigger bike, which I ended up getting with the XL on this Hightower. But I want my bike to perform the best on rougher, gnarlier descents, because that's just what I enjoy the most. So I really want it to excel out there. I want it to excel when I go to Pisgah, when I go to Windrock, when I take it to some gnarlier trails than what I got just around here in Auburn. So that's kind of what made me lean towards picking the LT and building up the way it did, is the fact that it was a bigger, longer travel bike, but all the reviews I'd read on it, and after I test rode it, it really just confirmed this, and it pedaled real well for that sort of bike too. So I felt like I'm getting a bike that's going to be a little bit better at Chewacla. It's going to be a little bit more pedal friendly. But also I'm getting a bike that can still handle and excel in the places where I want it to, which, like I said, is those rougher descents. So far I'm really happy with the decision on the Hightower LT. And really excited to get to continue to know the bike better, for you guys to get to continue to know it better as we just ride it and have fun on it with the channel. So if you have any questions about the Hightower LT, please just leave them below. I love talking about it and want to get back to you guys with any sort of interest about the bike that you may have. Like I said earlier in the video when I was riding, I am doing Windrock this coming weekend. I know it's super last minute and there's a possible chance of rain on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday's looking pretty good. And if there's any chance you can make it, think about joining. Would love to see some of you guys out there. Other than that, maybe eventually I'll actually plan a coordinated ride so you can have some notice instead of telling you like 5 days before I go. But yeah, that'll about do it for me, guys. Got a lot of exciting videos coming up that I'm really happy to get put together, and things will really get rolling now that I got the new bike. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for giving me a few of your minutes today, and stay shreddy, my friends.